Welcome back, friends and fam. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in to another C3 Live at 5. Today, we're going to do a quick overview on the market. We're going to look at what's going on, where our numbers at, look at BTC, ETH, and then this beautiful green square we'll be going over. And we'll be talking about how SLP is relevant in the NFT world. So if that interests you, be sure to like, subscribe, and let's get right into this. So over here, you can see we have Bitcoin is down a little bit on the day. About 0.3%, but you can see Ethereum and some of our favorite altcoins are beginning to pump up. So let's slide off this screen and take a better look on CoinGecko and see what is going on. So over here on CoinGecko, we can see that Bitcoin's down 4%, ETH is up 3%, and let's look at some of our better movers. So we have Waves is up 10%, Flow up 10%, Arweave up 8%, Chili 7%, Celsius Network 7%, ETH Classic 6.5%, Crypto.com's up 4.9%. So exciting to see some of these projects. And notice you can see a lot of these projects are in the later end of the top 100. So we have number 96, 56, 66, 92. So these are a lot smaller projects. They're just breaching the $1 billion market cap, as you can see over here. And so it's exciting to see these altcoins start moving, especially when you see Bitcoin has maintained some bit of stagnant. Obviously, we're having some resistance at 45K. This was expected. So we're really excited to see what Bitcoin's going to do as it surpasses 45K. So let's take a look at what that looks like. And we'll go ahead and start off with Bitcoin today, and then we'll move on to our totals because Bitcoin is exciting. So we just had currently printed was our 5-day candles and our 10-day candles. And I really enjoy zooming out so I don't get stuck in the euphoria, so I don't find myself looking in this FOMO mentality of, oh no, it's going up, it's never coming down. I need to buy it before it's $1 million. And it's really easy to get caught in that mentality. So the best way to do that is to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. That also helps during any kind of consolidation and capitulation periods, because when you're panicking and you feel like it's dropping forever, the best thing to do, and I recommend everyone does that, is come to your charts and you click the month. And when you look at it by the month, you'll stop panicking and you'll realize that's a healthy trajectory for any asset. So we also want to point out that on this channel, we have a couple of different opinions. And our opinions are based off of our intentions and how we're looking at the market. So some people are looking at the market for long-term, 3 to 5 years. And at that point, I think that they need to be considering DCA. This is not financial advice. This is what we would be doing if we were to go about it that way. Because we look at the market for more of a possible temporary in and out. We like to think of 3 to 6 months. And then if it looks positive or we're in a bull cycle for longer times. So that being said, we want to be able to make sure that we're perceiving the market specifically to our intentions in investing or in getting into these assets or supporting these projects. So when you look at the month, it's actually not the best look. And as you can see, we've had negative signs on our indicators. So you can see we have an 18 over a -5. And on Market Cypher, that is no bueno. And also we're heading down on Cypher B below. You can see the VWAP's heading down, as well as our stochastic RSI and MFI. So those are what we're looking at on the month. But hang in there, friends. The news gets better. A third of the month's already done. And now we're getting some positive signs. So it's looking like we're showing some form of health for the next 5+ days. So as of right now, the indicators are starting to look in our favor. And this is what we're looking for, especially those of us that are really interested in a little relief rally. Now, I'm not convinced this is going to take us to all-time highs, but it's always enjoyable to get some of these percentage gains and to watch some of our favorite altcoins pump. So now let's take a look at what that story looks like on the 5-day candle. Oh my goodness, that's looking even more bullish. So these are the long-term time frames I recommend you guys look at and kind of stick to. And then when you're looking into when you've committed and you've already made your decision that the trend reversal's in and you've decided that this is the time you want to get in, that's when you want to slide down to the 1-hour time frames and start looking in for where are my indicators? Like as of right now, you'd realize that there's probably going to be a better entry in the next couple of hours. And that's why we come down to these time frames. But I wouldn't recommend using anything below 6-hour candles to try and dictate your trend or where you believe the market's heading, unless you're an intense swing trader or day trader. And if you are a swing trader or day trader and you're really getting into it, I highly recommend you check out Trader's Reality. That's Tino over there. He does a fantastic job. He's got a great system and he's walking people through it. So if that's your thing, be sure to check him out. But for us, we just want to know where it's going. We like to know the direction that it's heading. So we go ahead and go over to total market cap, and it looks like we're getting ready to break through. This is exciting. As you guys can see, we have started to break out of the channel that we've been talking about all week. We'd like to see this do a little bit of a retest, but I could see us come up for another 5-day candle, then tap right here on our channel and take off. So we can take a quick little look at what that would look like. And that would look something along the lines of from here to here to here, and off we go. So that's what we're looking for. That's the bullish scenario. That's the healthy play out. And this is what it's starting to look like. So we're very excited. This is why we watch this every day, because the indicators do change. The story gets different and history doesn't ever repeat itself. We're just trying to figure out where it's going to rhyme. So let's go ahead and look at the dollar, because as we've hopefully gotten through to you guys, this is huge. This is what's going to dictate our markets in the long run. We want this to show signs of weakness. Currently, the dollar is showing some strength as well. And that may have to do with interest rates rising. There's a lot of variables that are going into play. There's a lot of news happening that could be showing why the dollar is strengthening and some of the other investment asset classes are struggling. So we want to pay a lot of attention to the dollar. And the same as Bitcoin, you want to move up to some higher time frames and look at what's the bigger picture. What's the zoomed out picture? And you can see we've been running up this ascending wedge and we're hoping to fall out of it. That is the bullish scenario for those of us that are crypto connoisseurs and altcoin advocates. So speaking of altcoin advocates, let's look at Total 3. This is all of our favorite altcoins except Ethereum and Bitcoin, which still is all of my favorite altcoins. And over here, we can see this is a bullish looking chart too. I mean, today is way more exciting to talk about the charts because we're getting some confirmation and we're starting to get the confirmation that the trend reversal is in. Now, until we get it in larger time frames, I'm not going to be tooting a horn, but I am getting excited. And this is what we're starting to look for. We want to see our wave down here start cresting upward. So for an example, let's look at the last time we had an upward crest. Come over here. And remember, we're looking at full 1-day candles. As we crested up, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of gains. And those of us that are trading and getting in and out, that's a beautiful window, beautiful opportunity. That's 22% in 7 days of more money going into the market. But also pay attention that just because we're getting a green light for a couple of days, that is not a trend reversal in. And you can see the market quickly corrected itself. It found resistance on, I believe, the 21 EMA, or no, it found resistance on the 50 EMA. And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for all of our indicators to line up on a longer time frame. But this is probably my favorite chart of the day. And we looked at the little green square earlier, and this is a beautiful chart that we got for you. But before we go into this, let's get educated on that. Sifu, what do you got for us on this SLP? And what is SLP?
What's up, C3 fam? Sorry about the malfunction there. And yeah, Al, thanks for that. That was beautiful. Let's get right into that and just see what SLP is. So once again, we're sitting here looking at the NFT charts. We're only down 0.8% on the day, so we're still at 44.5 billion for the market cap. But if we scroll down, just not much at all. We see Smooth Love Potion. We talked a little about it on one of our previous videos when we got into Axie, but check this out before we dive in. on the last 7 days, up 214%. So once again, Smooth Love Potion is just directly tied to Axie Infinity. That's their in-game currency that you use to operate within their ecosystem and play the game. That's how you earn rewards. However, let's dive a little deeper into what that also is going to become. So, as I had previously told everyone, we're upcoming on season 20 in Axie Infinity, and it had economic balancing adjustments. So, when I kind of checked out this article, it's really all about the SLP distribution that happens within the game and how you play it and earn those. So they actually need to dumb down the rewards, is what it turns out to be. So when you sign up for the game, the quickest way to earn your SLP tokens is to go in the adventure mode. The adventure mode is kind of like your tutorial to teach you how to play the game. Once you've mastered that, you then in turn go into their actual battle mode, which is your more online battling other players. And at that point, you want to have a little bit of know how on the play. However, they're getting equal distribution on the rewards because so many people just keep playing in the adventure mode. So that ties into the inflationary system that they need to tackle with their SLP tokens to keep the game moving forward. So that comes into play in their mints and burns that they're implementing through their breeding system. And they're going to dumb down the rewards and try to point people more into the direction of battle mode, just using the arcade mode or the adventure mode as a tutorial, learning what you're doing, and then incentivizing you to actually battle, go ahead and earn SLP rewards from there, and then therefore let the system run properly, and then it's not battling an inflationary rate because we have too many SLP tokens being developed based on players. I guess you could almost say finding the hack to earn more rewards easily. So it's pretty cool though. They have an entire revamped structure. If you come and check this article out, um, it basically lays out everything for that, and then it kind of gives you their new system of what's going to be rewarded per win based on what sort of play style. And then it also goes into showing how it's going to increase their burn rate. So they actually are clearly doing things right, and it's seeming to work out because they're up on the last 7 days, 214%. I myself can actually contest and say I went and bought some SLP token off of crypto.com. Very easy to use. That's probably the easiest place to get it, especially for newcomers who don't want to deal with swaps in these things. And that's already up. So, yeah, there's a lot going on with this, and we're going to actually check those charts a little later. But before we move on, I actually want to talk about another quick project. As you see, Mana sitting up here, they're up 28% on the last 7 days. They're doing pretty healthy. And I got a quick little article on their roadmap, or you can say their manifesto for 2022. And what's really interesting, the coolest part about it is not just the in world improvements and everything they want to make just playing their game better, but they're adding VR integration. That's in the works, that's coming. And along with their DAO, that is effectively being, I don't know, systematically prioritized to run their system the way they want. They're implementing the whole NFT system into your avatars. And so yeah, so say you have a bored ape or some cool NFT you've purchased, you can actually through this, once this is working out, you can wear the bored ape on your avatar or you can represent it in such ways. And along with all that is, I guess that falls into their category of smart wearables, where it's not just creating a wearable for the actual aesthetic of the game, but it's more like it creates gameplay. So if you create a jetpack, it will have a system. So, if you put on the jetpack, you actually fly around, yada, 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 create swords. You can sword fight with people, but they have a lot of cool things in the works. And one of the major things behind that is a protocol for their SDK enhancements. SDK stands for Software Development Kits. It's just what creators use to build out all these sort of experiences. But yeah, it's actually the VR integration. I think look forward to that coming. Anyone who's got a VR headset, this is going to be the best way to dive into these games. And especially since earlier I watched a video on Somium Space. I've previously talked about that. It's the only real current VR heavy metaverse right now. But I went through a virtual real estate tour, and this was not just looking at a grid to build something like you see on a sandbox in Decentraland. It was literally walking through a real estate, like the equivalent of someone walking you through a property, looking at it. It was very, for what it was, very impressive. So yeah, there's a lot of things being made, and I think those correlate to the market pumps we're seeing. But not to keep blabbering about that, I think what we're going to do here is go ahead and jump back onto the charts. And let's actually take a look at Smooth Love Potion and let's see, let's get an idea on it. Let's see where it's moving.
Right on, Sifu. Thank you for that. And man, is this an exciting chart to look at. This is something that if you zoom in really close, you're definitely going to have FOMO. But right off the bat, I want to point out something that we continue to reiterate. And you can see some form of a healthy pump right here because we have a wonderful retest. And our retest right on the 21 or the 200 EMA is beautiful. That's what we're looking for on something. Now, I'm not sure I'm itching to get in at this point. I'd like to see another retest on a level 2, but this is an exciting project. This has moved a lot. And if you zoom out, this project is actually down quite a bit. So let's take a look at what it's done, where it's been. And now, granted, I'm on Smooth Love Potion on KuCoin charts. So it's been on KuCoin since what looks about August 4th. And let's take a look at how it's performed on KuCoin. So we have currently, we're down 87% since we were featured on KuCoin. So that is absolutely, that's impressive. That's on sale. That's seems like a good opportunity. But I am always cautious. I like to buy on red candles, not green candles, not financial advice. We're obviously not financial advisors. So it has been as low as 96%. So we started at about 25 cents and we have fallen to barely be just shy of a penny. So this has moved a lot and it has a lot of room to grow. And so since we know that our all-time high is already a 12x from where we're at, we know that that's a capable potential. So it's an exciting project and one we want to keep our eyes on, and we want to make sure we understand what's relevant about it. So let's take a look and figure out, why are we talking about Smooth Love Potion? Well, for starters, it's the greenest square on the screen, and that's always fun. But really, look over here, and as we're teaching you guys, you go to coins, you go to discover, and you end up on this page. And over here, you can see looks rare, as we talked about yesterday. But, oh, this beautiful Smooth Love Potion right there, third coin down. Where else can we find it? Well, I bet you we can find it down here on most visited. And sure enough, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. So it's getting a lot of attention. It's definitely something that's hot right now, something that people are paying attention to, and something that caught our attention enough for us to dive into it and look at the tokenomics of it.
Can I add to that real quick, Al? Um,
Absolutely.
I just wanted to mention, yeah, why it's so popular too. I'm sitting here looking at the marketplace for it, and the total volume of move sales is $6.2 million. There's been almost 70,000 Axies sold through the breeding program. So yeah, they're moving and grooving. There's lots of money moving through that project. But I just wanted to point that out because I wanted to show that. And yeah, I think it's adding to the popularity. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish.
Yeah, no. To compound that, see if there's almost $1.6 billion moving through Smooth Love Potion right now. 24-hour trading volume, 1.6, 1.593. billion. I mean, that is a healthy asset. That's definitely something that is here. We are just about to break into the top 100 market cap, I believe. I don't want to butcher that, but where's our ranking? Um, I believe it was, oh my goodness, I'm blanking out. But anyways, we also have a market cap of coming into 1 billion. It's $986 million. And as you guys saw earlier, some of those later alts were in the, so, oh, here we are. We're market cap 106. So we're working our way in. We're eating up market cap from some of these lower projects and trying to make our way into the top 100. Still down 6% on the year. Obviously up 17% on the week. So those of you that knew about SLP and were getting into it early, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself. And that's really, I really hope that everyone here takes a look into it, decides if SLP is something that they're interested in, something that sounds like it needs to go in their portfolio. I know it caught our attention, and we love tokens that move like this. But that's kind of all I got on SLP. And I was noticing we had some good comments showing up in the chats, and I wanted to go over what some of our C3 family members are dropping to us. And so they want to talk about what's going on with the Fed. So this is something that we had heard about a while back, and I remember it being, and please don't quote me on this, I don't want to butcher the actual facts, but there was a little bit of an issue with Bitfinex because the tokens, they were hacked and the Bitcoin disappeared. And then I believe about 6 months ago or so, somehow a portion of those tokens reappeared. And that was before this news article came out. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to play out. I think there's still not all of the facts out. We're still going to get some information. And the question is, when they return, I think the biggest story in this, obviously it's a no-no. You shouldn't be a scammer. You shouldn't hack people. Don't steal. That's not okay. And that makes this whole industry look bad. And so I'm glad that people that have malicious intentions in this industry are getting, what might be deserved. But without knowing the actual facts, I'm going to be hesitant to comment too much. I will say that on the Bitfinex, where was it? So having moved about 25,000 of the coins into regular currency. So they showed how they pretty much were laundering it and went through it. Impressive how they were able to track all of the process. But this is what I wanted to say. My apologies. So in a statement, Bitfinex said it's been cooperating with authorities all along and will work through the Department of Justice to return the money. I must have scanned over it. But the biggest question is, how will the people that will be getting their Bitcoins back handle this situation? And so my understanding is there was it was $71 million worth, but $4.5 billion worth of Bitcoin was hacked. And since that was stolen and the exchange was unable to provide that to the people that had their Bitcoins on the exchange, now the exchange is going to be required to send those Bitcoin back to the people that had their Bitcoin when it was worth that. I can't imagine. I believe 2016. Let's take a look at the chart. What was Bitcoin worth in 2016? So we'll go ahead. We'll go over here to our month candles. We'll take a look and we will zoom on back to 2016. So this is when Bitcoin was worth, depending on when in 2016, anywhere from $300 to $500. So $500 in 4.5 billion, that's going to create a handful of Bitcoin that people are going to be getting back. And I'll be curious to see how that affects the market. So are these people going to be excited and hold that Bitcoin long term and wait till it peaks its next all-time high? Or are people going to get a couple of Bitcoin back and think, oh my goodness, I just got free money from something that burned me 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm going to cash this out. And how will that impact the market if you send that many Bitcoin out to people that may or may not still be crypto connoisseurs? And what are they going to do? So for me, that is the biggest question, is how are the people going to handle their returned Bitcoin more so than anything else in this story? I know that's what's caught my attention. That's what I think is relevant, what could really heavily affect our market. So it's pretty exciting. I mean, I will just go over a brief summary of what happened for those of you that are not familiar. It's Tuesday's press release. The U.S. Department of Justice said they retrieved approximately 94,000 Bitcoin. So that is worth 3.6 billion at the time of the seizure. Linked to the hack, it was in which 120,000 Bitcoin worth 70 million at the time was stolen from customer accounts. So a total of 214,000 Bitcoin. What's going to happen when that goes onto the market? Are people going to hold them and hodl strong, or are they going to dump them and drive us down? So I think that's something to pay attention to. It'll be great to watch the on-chain analytics. If it's something you're interested in, we'll be bringing that to you and we'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see the back end. So we're excited to see how people respond to this, and we will bring it to you as this develops and unfolds. But that's looking like the chats in the section. Really appreciate everything. And I want to just make a shout out. So much love. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at 5. C3 over and out.
Yeah. Good
Still
job.
live. Still live.
Still live at 5.